Hello everyone! Patch 10.2.5 Siege of Renewal offers some epilogues, some wrap-ups for the story told. Vyranoth has been defeated, and the new World Tree, a mere Drasil, it has moved from the dream and taken root within Azeroth. The aspectal powers have returned to the dragon aspects, but it's not the Titan's magic. This is of Azeroth, and even Vyranoth received it, unlike anything that she has known. How exactly that works, it not being from the Titans but from Azeroth, and yet it is the aspectral powers, but a blessing that Vyranoth is okay with. All of that is not touched upon. What we do get clarification about was the question, did Vyranoth become an aspect as well? And if so, the aspect of what? The answer is yes, she is an aspect, the aspect of storms. A title I chose myself for many reasons. Blessed by Azeroth, our world's primal fury now courseth through me, relentless as a hailstorm, howling with frozen winds. I stand as well for the Fornir and the Netherwing, and the storms they call home. And finally, I sought to honor my fallen sister one final time. Razageth the Storm Eater, who gave me the gift of freedom, one that I would share with all dragonkinds.
My friend, we have asked you here this day to offer our thanks. When we dragons returned to our homeland, we were a kingdom divided. Old wounds and bitter memories had fractured our unity. But thanks to you, and all those who stood with us, we have found our way to a better future. We realized that the mistakes of our past need not define us. That we should not fear the unknown. That we could embrace our family while building a new legacy for our flights. A legacy that includes all dragonkind. In recognition of everything you have done, we proclaim you champion of the Dragonflights.
We've spoken about the pacing of Dragonflight before. Vyranoth quickly swapping sides, regaining trust off-screen, and the sanity empowerment of the aspects. That topic has been discussed already, and that's just going to be the story of Dragonflight for what I assume is done in favor of working on the war within. That said, I do wonder what happened to the story of Nosdormu and the Bronze Dragonflights. I wonder if we'll ever return to the topic of the true timeline.
There is only one true timeline.
Since he became the aspect of time, Nosdormu was told to keep the so-called purity of time. If they wouldn't, the fabric of reality would unravel. To make sure that not even the aspect of time thought himself above these rules, they showed him his moment of demise, the moment that he confirmed himself to be his death of Murderzond during the Cataclysm. But now we are messing with the timeline. Chromie has messed with that moment of demise. Iridacron is hinting at the Titans wanted to preserve this timeline, but it not actually being a true timeline. What does that say about the purpose of the Bronze Dragonflight as a whole? What does that say about the empowerment of the aspects to begin with? If they had lied to the Bronze Dragonflight, what about the others? What does that say about the connection with Keeper Tyr? And all of these are really interesting concepts that I would love for them to dive further into the future. Maybe a concept that we will see them return to. For now, Nosdormu should just stop fearing the unknown, and we are hailed as champions of the Dragonflights. A title we didn't earn just by ourselves. The Dracthyr proved to be incredibly powerful allies, or some might even call them overpowered.
My dear friends, so much has happened since we awoke in our creches.
For you, most of all, I think.
I am at peace.
After everything you endured, Emberthal, are you...
I will ever remember the names of those who were lost. But I have found new purpose in leading the Ebon Scales. And what about each of you?
At first, I was skeptical whether we Dracthyr would be a good fit for the Horde. But I have grown fond of them. And they of us. My favorites are the Volpera. Feisty little squirrels. Or whatever they are.
Likewise, the Alliance has formally offered us a place in its ranks. Its members are brave and noble, worthy of our allegiance. I believe Lord Commander Turalyon has come to admire our discipline. He appreciates skilled soldiers.
When we emerged into this new age, we did not know who we could trust. Now we have many allies, both in the mortal kingdoms and among the dragons.
Including a new Earth Warder, who won't lock us away for millennia. Probably.
Assuming you behave yourself, Syndra.
Now what fun would that be?
Come, friends. There is so much that awaits us. In the Dragon Isles and beyond.
Joining the illustrious ranks of classes like Death Knights and Demon Hunters, they now have to find their spot in the story of Warcraft and the world of Azeroth. A lot are doing that, finding a place where they belong, like the Black Dragon, formerly known as the Black Prince, Wrathion.
Wrathion, Abyssian mentioned that you will soon depart from the Isles.
I didn't take you as one who engaged in gossip, Sabellian.
Does he speak true?
He does. Iridikron may be lying low, but he still poses a significant threat to Azeroth. I will coordinate the Black Talon's efforts to track him down. Even Iridikron can't evade them forever.
Indeed. I must admit, your agents have impressed me far more than I expected. With rare exception, I never placed much stock in mortals beforehand. You have quite the way with their kind.
I suppose I do. My time in the Dragon Isles was a grand adventure, but not the homecoming I'd hoped for. I've often felt that I share more in common with mortals than with dragons, and feared that I belong among neither. I thought that here, in the land of my ancestors, I'd find something I was lacking, that by becoming an aspect I could prove who and what I truly am. If not to the world, then at least to myself. But I see now that I never had anything to prove. My place is among both mortals and dragons. That is my strength, not my failing. It's who I am. Who I've always been.
Well said. You walk a path I never could, Wrathion. Take pride in it. And should that path lead you back to the Dragon Isles, I hope it does feel like a homecoming.
We shall see. Thank you, brother.
Wrathion's role during Dragonflight was definitely a choice, but this right here is pretty damn great. He is not done playing his role in the story. The Void is going to be an upcoming enemy. Who better than our resident old god expert to help us out? Another finding his place in the world, that is Kalecgos, empowered blue dragon aspect of magic, sticking with his family.
Impeccable timing, champion. Khadgar should be arriving shortly.
My ears are burning, Kalecg. To what do I owe the honor?
Bittersweet news, I'm afraid. Khadgar, I have chosen to step down from the Council of Six. My duties as Aspect must take precedence. I'm needed in Valdrakken far more than in Dalaran.
Is that all? Forgive me, but that hardly comes as a surprise. I suspected as much when you asked to speak with me.
So, you do not think ill of me for relinquishing my position?
Perish the thought. Your family comes first, Kalecg. I could never fault you for that. Though, I do have a request to make of you. The artifact Iridikron took from the Forbidden Reach, the one he handed over to this mysterious Harbinger. Dalaran's libraries hold precious little information on it. Given Malygos's history with Neltharion...
You hope that I might have better luck scouring the Azure archives. Consider it done, old friend. I will share all the information I can find.
Thank you, Kalecg. Strange, isn't it? The Kirin Tor and the aspect of magic working hand in hand.
It's a new age, one we will face together. Us, the Council, and whoever replaces me.
Rest assured we will fill your vacant seat. But no one could ever replace you. Farewell for now, Kalecgos. Be it here, Dalaran, or Karazhan, I look forward to our next reunion.
Kalecg has worked with the Kirin Tor for quite a bit, but now he is a proper, fully empowered aspect again. Indeed, quite the change from the Nexus Wars, the days that the Kirin Tor had to bring Malygos low. While streaming, some suggested that Jaina Proudmoore might take up his spot, might return to the Kirin Tor and the Council of Six. Times have definitely changed, and peace between the factions, it existed for quite a few years. Personally, I would prefer to see some fresh faces take their spot on the stage. Jaina already has an extensive storyline, which brought her home as Lord Admiral of Kul Tiras. Khadgar's request on information about this mysterious Harbinger, that calls back to what we know to be Xal'atath, but the people in-game, they haven't seen the War Within announcement cinematic. They're still stabbing in the dark, wondering what might come next. Vyranoth has some dire news to share, as she got an unexpected summons from Iridikron.
I had received a missive from Iridikron. He wished to speak with me, and me alone. I am here.
It seems your courage has not faltered, despite abandoning our war.
That war is over, Iridikron! It was you who abandoned our cause, who abandoned Farak to his own destruction. All for some trinket Neltharion left behind.
The Dark Heart is no mere trinket. Its power now lies in the Harbinger's hands.
The Void cannot be trusted.
I trust its hunger. You know the Titans infected our world, and I will see them extinguished. The question is, sister, will you?
I will have no part of this.
Then the bond of the Incarnates is truly ended. You will not see me again until the Titans face their reckoning. But to you, Vyranoth, I offer one final warning. Stay out of my way.
The novel War of the Skillborn already described Iridikron as being invested in Vyranoth, constantly offering a spot amongst their ranks. But Iridikron never did anything without it being part of his plan. Now a spot which she only accepted once she found out about Alexstrasza's lies, stealing their children, forcing order upon them, as well as the imprisonment of Raszageth. That is what pushed Vyranoth to Team Incarnate, going through this mysterious ritual which empowered them. We still don't know where exactly their power came from, but the Incarnates and others that joined their side were not down with the changes brought by the Titans. Being forced one way or the other, I think most of us can agree is not cool, but at the same time, you do have to wonder why Iridikron is now part of the Team Void. He says that he trusts in their hunger, will do anything to take it out on the Titans, but does he realize that without the interference of the Titans, the primal dragons wouldn't have existed, and the elemental lords would still be enslaved? That is to say, of course, if our information still holds true. There are records indicating that the Black Empire was more advanced than what the Titans and their followers have told us so far. Yet at the same time, we've also traveled through the timeways and we've seen with our own eyes what it was like back then. What it was like when the Black Empire ruled the world. So again, being forced into the path of the Titans is definitely bad. But how does that compare to being enslaved to the will of the old gods? I'm curious to see what that story is going to be, and how the connection between Iridikron, Xal'atath, and the Void was established. War of the Skillborn makes no mention of Iridikron communicating with the Void, while his counterpart Deathwing, he starts to slowly embrace their powers. This is what allowed Neltharion to overpower Iridacron, overpower Raszageth. It could be established back then. It could be after he was already released by Raszageth. I'm just curious when, because say that it was 20,000 years ago. Say that Iridacron was listening to the whispers of the Void. Then that would mean that the Void has been pitching Neltharion and Iridacron against each other. And I just really like that concept. But time is going to tell. Time, which Iridacron apparently has, as he promises that we won't see him until the climax. Until the Titans will get what's coming to them. 3 expansions into the future. A bit more closer to home is that little trinket they were talking about. Iridacron has traveled through time to suck out Galagrond's essence. And Galagrond was that big old mutated proto-dragon whose corruption has been attributed to the old god Yogg-saron. I've seen a tweet fly by from Jedef TV, which suggests that Xal'atath is cruising the timelines to gather the essences of the slain old gods, like some sort of infinity gauntlet. Here we got Yogg-saron. In Battle for Azeroth, we dealt with N'Zoth with the blade. Upcoming content mentions the Dark Heart, the heart of the old god Y'Shaarj. And the thing that truly makes me love this idea is that it connects to the Season of Discovery, which I've personally been spending way too much time in. Within Season of Discovery, there's a crafting quest for an epic, connected to the old gods and mysterious creatures of the void. The idea suggests that it's Xal'atath hopping cross games, cross timelines, and honestly, I would love for this to become a reality. Regardless, we already know that she is going after the blood of the old gods, is using a disc to empower the Nerubians. Time will tell what else is going to be connected, what else will lead us into the war within, and that sword left behind within Silithus. We have seen the announcement cinematic, but in-game, that is still to happen. Shaw has news from his agents about the king.
You're certain it was him?
My agents and Ratchet confirmed it. He was seen buying supplies.
Why Kalimdor? Why wouldn't he return home to Stormwind?
I don't know, but he was traveling south. Must have noticed my people on his tail. He lost them in the Barrens.
South? What could he be after? Send word to Jaina. She'll want to know where he's headed.
You don't want to go after him yourself?
If he's staying away, he must have his reasons. We need to trust him.
Should I inform Lord Commander Turalyon?
No. Not until we know more. Let's keep this quiet, Spymaster.
It will be done, King Greymane.
Anduin is on the move, on his journey towards Silithus. And we know from Thrall and Jaina that Azeroth's voice is calling out, so Anduin is most likely hearing it as well, leaving us with the final bit to talk about. The Night Elves have a brand new world tree, a Mirdrassil, right here on the Dragon Isles, which did get some reaction from the community. Why are the Night Elves being relocated here? And it seems like Blizzard has taken the feedback to heart.
Such beauty, such tranquility. More Kaldori settle here every day. After so many years of strife, Belameth offers rest and comfort. This village welcomes all who wish to dwell here, but it shall not be our only home. Hyjal, Val'Sharah, Ashenvale. These are sacred places to us. We shall protect them forevermore. And one day, when life blossoms again upon its ashen shores, we will return to Teldrassil and build anew. Father, we have so much to tell you.
As I slumbered within Ardenweald, Yogg-saron let me dream through her eyes. I saw the courage you showed defending Yggdrasil. I am so proud of you both, and of all the heroes of Azeroth who joined together for this cause.
Though we will never forget the past, it is time to look forward.
Our people will be pleased to have both of you leading them into that future.
No, my beloved daughter. I think we will tarry here in Bellineth a while. I believe we have earned some time alone together.
That we have, my love.
But our people need...
They have all they need in you, child.
You have grown into a wise leader, Chandris. Within you beats the heart of the Kaldorei people. Trust your instincts. And if you have need of us, you know where we will be.
Thank you for your faith in me, for everything.
Now come. I want to show you a spot that would be perfect for our home.
I do hope there is room for a garden.
Not just this faction-neutral city is going to become home to the Night Elves. They'll be spread around, even have portals right here to lead them there. Malfurion returns after taking a nap in Ardenweald. He did this so that Ysera could return, to reassure her daughter Marifra that she has in fact been the aspect of their flight since Legion. Ysera has returned to the Shadowlands, so Tyrande and Malfurion are reunited, finally going to take the time for themselves, passing on leadership to their legendary daughter, Chandris Pheromone. The hugging technology has now evolved into kissing and group hugs. What else are they going to come up with next? Now around town, we can see that the settlement is growing and being filled up. A new generation is rising up to lead the story of Warcraft into the future, and only time is going to tell how all of that will play out. Now coming Monday, we'll talk about retaking Gilneas, diving into the road that led us there, and going through the actual quests. Then there's also the Azerothian Archivist bits, but I'm still far more rep and the story that's connected, so that's gonna be for later. For now, thank you very much for watching, everyone. Subscribe if you like my videos, leave a like if you enjoyed this one. And until next time, see ya!